Hello everyone and welcome to another K Taylor Tech tutorial. In today's tutorial, I will be telling you what you can do when your computer is running very slowly. Okay, now a computer can run slowly for a variety of different reasons, and one of the main reasons why this happens is because you have too many antivirus softwares running at one time, and those typically have what's called real-time services. They're literally like watching what certain programs do and what's executed and things like that. Like, I don't want to get too technical into the explanation because this video is intended for novices as well as more intermediate users. So one of the first things you can do is go down to your taskbar down here at the very bottom of the screen and right click on it, bring up the task manager, check your performance. Find out the percentage of computer CPU that's being used, which would be your processor. And then check your memory, which is your RAM. How much usage is going on your computer at one time. I know this looks really technical to someone who's more of a novice user, but it really gives you a good idea. The main two things that you want to focus on is the CPU up here and the memory right here. This will tell you everything. Gives you the layout of what's going on, how many resources are being used, things like that. I mean, I don't really have anything to worry about because I have 20 gigs of RAM, as you can see, so I can handle quite a bit on this computer without anything operating too slowly. Now, what you typically want to do, check your startup programs, all that good stuff. The details of currently running programs. There's quite a bit of things running. You won't always see these things or be aware that they're running because a lot of them are running in the background. Like this one, for example, this is a firewall program, an antivirus, and that's running right now, but you wouldn't know it because it's, like I said, it's running in the background. And it appears to be using such a low amount of resources that it clocks in at zero. Now, some of these other ones are just, fluctuating and so on and so on. And, you can just go down your list and just see what's using the most resources at one time. And according to this, it looks like the system idle process is using the most resources, but not enough to where it's putting a major strain on the computer. So that's a good thing. I'm doing pretty good here. And this right here is the services window. This is probably more appropriate for the more intermediate user, because it has all of your programs, and some of these you won't even know what they are. And honestly, if they're Windows, if they're Microsoft services, you probably want to leave them alone because that can cause problems, with your operating system, problems that you don't want. But if you see anything that you can identify, that you know what it is for certain, like if it's just some app, like some sort of music app or something like that, you can safely shut it off. And let's say, for example, that this was the music app that you had open and it was using a whole lot of resources on the computer, and you pull up the services window here, and what you can do is you right click it and just select stop, and that's all you do. And like I said, sometimes you might want to check your antivirus. You only want to have one of those installed at a time, one firewall at a time. I mean, because you don't want to cross like an antivirus program with an anti-malware program, because if you run both of those at the same time, they're both going to run real-time services, and then they're going to really put a strain on the computer, and you will get terrible performance, and you don't want that. So keep that in mind as well. Now, there's many ways you can do this. There's another way to do it, which would be a little more technical. And like I said, I don't want to get too technical with this. I don't want to make this confusing for anyone. But If you have any questions, reach out. I will have my contact information at the bottom of this video. Hopefully this helps you out, and I will see you in the next tutorial. Have a great day.